Gentlemen, we can't but not, being in this incredible yeshiva, the revolution of the yeshiva world and of the Daf Yomi world that Jeremy spoke about, we can't but not learn the Daf of the day, which I'm going to get to in a moment. We've made a special Daf Yomi thing for you. We're going to, Darren in a few moments is going to learn something with us. It's the Daf of the day. You'll see I've put it together for the Mizrahi trip. You can keep it. Daf Yomi, Yeshivat Chachmei Lublin, 16th of Cheshvan, Mar Cheshvan, 14th of November 2019, and it's the Daf of the day. There's another Masechet Nida. I was looking, it's about 73 Daf, so there's another 51 Daf to go till, as you know, the whole cycle is 72 Daf. So there's another 50 Daf to go to completing the cycle of Daf Yomi. But just before I say one thing about the Daf Yomi, to introduce Darren to speak, just one or two reflections. Firstly, Jeremy spoke about the beginning of the revolution of the yeshiva world. You know, I heard from Rabbi Beryl Wein that in one of his tapes where he said at the heart of the Lithuanian yeshivot, at the heart of all of the full-time yeshiva students learning Lithuania, it was never more than 3,000 people. There were never more than 3,000 people full-time learning. There's more than triple that today in the Mir Yeshiva in Yerushalayim alone. And the yeshiva revolution is unbelievable. I know that our Rosh Yeshiva Rav Zalman Malamed would always tell us, either on Yom Ha'atzmaut or Yom Yerushalayim in Beit El, that when he went to the first meeting of Bacharei Yeshiva in Israel in the early 50s, all the yeshiva students of all the different worlds of learning could fit into a small hall in Tel Aviv in 1948, 1949. And look what's happened today with the amount of yeshiva learning everywhere, the revolution of Torah and the yeshivot, and the style of yeshivot, which was spoken about by by Jeremy. But also one of these revolutions has been the revolution in the Dati Lomi world that Rav Millstone alluded to in one of his earlier speeches. To have people studying full-time in yeshiva, becoming tremendous Talmidei Chachamim, but at the same time deeply committed to the state of Israel, to serving in the Jewish army, is an amazing thing. You could barely see a kippah in the army in the early stages, even kosher food, and how it's all been revolutionized through so much siyata d'shmaya today. My son, like many of you here, your children, currently in the armies in the Hezder unit, to be in a unit of boys serving in the Tzanchanim, where they give each other chizuk all together, serving in the army, come from yeshiva, returning to yeshiva is an amazing thing. There are today more than 70 yeshivot Hezder alone, of boys learning, thousands of boys learning, where they're combining high-level Torah scholarship with incredible service to the Israeli army. So much has happened in this revolution. If you go to America today, there's an unbelievable, the Daf Yomi, as we know, there's 2,711 pages in the Daf Yomi, and that gets covered, of every Daf of Gemara, that gets covered every 7 years and 5 months. If you happen to be in America on the 1st of January, one of the incredible things of the Aguda world in America, they bring so much of the Torah world together. 90,000 people come to a siyum. They're busing schools and everything in the is it the MetLife? Is that what it is? MetLife Stadium. It's the Yankee Stadium, right? The Giants Stadium, 90,000 people. It's an unbelievable thing coming together. Also in Israel, there are lots of different siyumim. I just wanted to say, we've also decided this year to do a big siyum in the Dati Lomi world in Israel. Unfortunately, in Israel, there isn't one big siyum like there is in America where everybody participates. There are lots of different siyumim. So I just wanted to tell you, if you're going to be in Israel, it will also be live streamed on Thursday evening, the 2nd of January. The siyum is actually on the Saturday night, Sunday, the 4th. But we're doing a siyum of all the religious Zionist institutions in Israel. There's a man that many of us know, Jeremy Rav Millstone Tzvibel, and he's got an organization called Mif'alot HaTzionut Datit, and together with World Mizrahi, we're bringing together across the Dati Lomi world in Israel and live streaming it to communities around the world. Also celebrating the depth of Torah in Israel and around the world in the Dati Lomi world, of people deeply committed to Torah and to modern life and to the state and land of Israel. And it's such a broad Torah today in Israel that we felt it appropriate to bring all the institutions together and have such a siyum. So we'll send you more information about that if you happen to be in Yerushalayim, or to live stream it. And there's going to be rabbis, as I say, from across Israel and around the world, the chief rabbis and the leading religious Zionist rabbis in Israel and around the world. for a few thousand of us getting together. There'll be a pre-English event for all the Magi Day shir, of which Darren is one of them, who gives a regular shir that I'll come to in a moment. So that's just for the 2nd of January, which shows, as Jeremy said, how powerful this Torah revolution is. It just grows and grows and grows in the broadest possible way. There's no doubt. Sorry?
Trying to add that, I mean, worth noting in the revolution, they also have women learning now, which
100%.
never would have been imagined.
No, also a whole separate discussion is the whole tremendous revolution in women's learning, which is an unbelievable thing. The institutions and yeshivot, there's even a women's Daf Yomi siyum which is taking place, which is quite amazing. Even though I think Daf Yomi is not at the moment the thing that is the excellence of women's learning right now is Daf Yomi. It's in so many other areas of Torah, which one sees all over the place. But absolutely, the women's revolution is amazing. In fact, in one of the sessions we're doing in our siyum of Daf Yomi with all the institutions is bringing in some of the trailblazers in women's learning and having a discussion on the revolution of women's learning as part of our siyum of Daf Yomi to celebrate the siyum of the tremendous revolution. Now, one other point I just wanted to make. There's no doubt that part of this revolution has been modern technology and translations. Gemara is difficult. It's difficult because it's written in a very concise fashion, and even if you translate it directly, you don't know what's going on. It's got its own logic. It says less than it implies and means. If you've seen a lot of the commentaries, you need so much commentary just to explain what's actually going on. The logic is difficult. It does not all spelt out, and it's not easy to learn. And of course, what's also challenging about it, it's written in Aramaic. It's written in another language. I mean, I don't know about all of you. I don't talk Aramaic to my friends. I don't know if you do. It's not an easy, it's another language. So, hence modern technology and translations and what's happened in the last number of years. One of the people who opened up the Gemara is, in Hebrew, is Rabbi Adin Steinsaltz. You've all heard of Adin Steinsaltz. It's his translation that Koren have used. So really what did Adin Steinsaltz do? If you actually open up to the page, so it's based on the Hebrew Steinsaltz. So if you really look, what has he done? The page in the Gemara. We don't have time to go into the whole structure of the page, so I just want to make one point over here. If you look at page, open up to first page, you'll see that it's written in, he's put vowels in, he's put commas in, he's actually helped you, but it's not written with vowels and commas. You don't know where a line begins and ends, where a phrase begins and ends, so he's actually done that. You don't have it here because this is the English version. What he's also done in his Steinsaltz edition, he has a Hebrew commentary. So you've got a commentary in Hebrew, in simple Hebrew, where he helps you understand the logic and what's going on. That's not here because this is just the original page without the Hebrew commentary. What then happened, which opened up the Daf to English speakers? ArtScroll, a number of decades ago, as you all know, founded the Schottenstein edition, which is an amazing thing because now not only does it open up and explain, it's in English, and people who didn't have a yeshiva background, don't know Aramaic, don't know Hebrew, and this has caused tens of thousands of people to learn Daf Yomi. I know in our community in South Africa, when we first started Daf Yomi Shur, the last cycle that Rabbi Podlashuk gave, who we work with today, we had 70 people who began it. 70 people finished Masechet Brachot in our community when we began it, and it remained about 20 or 30 people who continued learning it. That would be impossible without Schottenstein. Final point, into Koren. So you see those Gemaras over there, the grey ones, and there's a big sign as you come in. Koren publishes an amazing story in and of itself, which we don't have time to go into, but worthwhile saying that Eliyahu Koren, a brilliant biblical scholar of Tanakh in 1961, decided to print something that hadn't been printed in 500 years, a Hebrew Tanakh. Tanakh had not been printed by Jews in 500 years. And in 1962, he printed the amazing Koren Tanakh. He was an expert in Tanakh. And that was the revolution of the Koren publishers. But it went through its ups and downs. It was taken over a number of years ago by a wonderful man called Matthew Miller. And today, Koren Publishers is an unbelievable koach. And they too, based with the Steinsaltz Center and the reinvigorated Koren, who we work with very, very closely, are about to complete their first cycle of the first book of Shas. It's just completed. The last Masechet Nida has just been given out. Is Nida the last one now they're given out? Sorry? Yeah, it's not yet there because it hasn't come yet. And we're also partnering with them. We're partnering with them in our siyum as well, and getting their Gemaras out. And some people prefer the Schottenstein, some people prefer the Koren, different styles. But this essentially is the Steinsaltz translation. and Perush with the Koren publishers. Translation is expanding, and hence when you go, I know that not all of you would have seen something like this, but if you keep turning the page, that's the Steinsaltz regular page of Gemara. You just turn the next page, that's what the Koren will look like. So it's got the regular Gemara on the sides in the Hebrew, and look how much English commentary you need just to explain 1 or 2 lines of Gemara. Because if you read it and you understand Hebrew perfectly, you don't necessarily understand what it means, but it's all part of intricate, in-depth legal discussions of how you get to the source of the halakha and extrapolate the halakha and apply it to life. So hence is the revolution of Daf Yomi began here, expanded through translations and commentaries, compounded, of course, by the internet and the ability to connect the whole world, and hence this revolution is growing and growing. And I just want to say that we as Mizrahi are very privileged also to be partnering with Mifalot HaTzion to bring our Dati Lomi world, Torah world together to celebrate the great strength of Torah learning, but also with its strong Israel and Zionist focus, that the two revolutions of the modern era come together in a powerful world, and that'll be happening in Yerushalayim. And I want to say that to ask Darren to come and speak, we have somebody with us who gives a Daf Yomi shiur. I know Rav Milsa and others here learn Daf Yomi. Many people learn Daf Yomi. Darren gets up early in the morning. He gives a Daf Yomi shiur in his Yeshuv Telmon today, in English, yeah. And many people listen to it from around Israel and around the world. And even here it's been taking place early every morning, kavua, with the people following it in Israel. So we thought that even though this is a very difficult page, and it's complicated, it's the laws of, Nida, but we couldn't be here and not have a part of a shiur, just for a few minutes, given by somebody who gets up every morning with some of his community members and friends and the people who learn Daf Yomi together, and just learn in the same place where it was founded. Today's Daf, 51 days before completing the Daf Yomi. So Darren, b'chavod, shakov, what are you doing? Great to have you with us, and b'chavod.